Welcome to the Reckless Paradise, everyone. My name is Dystro. My lovely co-host, Marissa, could not be here tonight because, as you could recall on our community tab on the Reckless Paradise podcast YouTube page, um, something had come up, and I want to wish this said person's family and friends and loved ones my condolences, and she wishes her condolences as well. Um, it was a family member of said person that we speak about a lot on this podcast. His grandpa had passed away this morning, and we want to try to make a little tribute. I wanted to do a little tribute to him. Hopefully Marissa doesn't mind. Um, But with that being said, may he rest in peace. Hopefully, you know, um, they'll get some closure when some people come to the funeral and all that stuff. But anyways, welcome to the second episode of the Foo Fighters random ranking episode. Now, we had tried this last night, but something had happened on Marissa's end, which was not of her control. So she wanted me to go solo tonight because due to the circumstances that I had said at the top of this episode, so she trusted in me to carry on this episode without her, and I'm going to do you proud, Marissa. I promise you. So let's get into this now. How the random ranking works: we take a whole bunch of songs from a specific artist and we put them into a random generator, and we take those 10 songs and we rank them from 10 to 1, 10 being the worst, well, 10 not being the worst, but 10 being the least likely on our list, number 1 being the most popular on our list. And now I had the task of writing down her uh, 10 songs as well, and she gave me her notes, so thank you for that. So, with that being said, let's start with number 10. We both had Cloud Spotter, let me say that correctly. Um, it's because like we didn't have much of a connection with that song. It's not very memorable to both of us, and I'm kind of surprised that we both had that song at our 10, um, which is kind of shocking. Um, but yeah, it wasn't very memorable at all. So with number 9, she had Wind Up from The Color and the Shape, and I had Waiting on a War, and Waiting on a War for me, it's like the album that it's from. It's a very good It's a good album, but it's Medicine at Midnight, so it's not very memorable. But Waiting on a War is like one of those like diamonds in the rough sort of songs, and Wind Up for her, she it's not very memorable for her, but The Color and the Shape, it's like a very good album, and it's their only second album from the Foo Fighters, so it's like I'm just kind of surprised that we had Wind Up on this album, or on this random ranking. Number 8, she put Rescued when I put Next Year, and she's probably gonna hate me for that, but it's my random ranking. It's what I think. Um, but for Next Year, for me, it's like it's not very memorable. I don't play it a lot. Like a lot of these songs, I don't play a lot. Um, like Monkey Wrench and A Matter of Time, that's on this list, and Rescued, like those are gonna be like the most played out of all of these 10 songs. Um, Rescued for her, she told me that it kind of gets overplayed a little bit where she lives, and I can see that, but it doesn't get overplayed for me specifically. which is kind of rare. Because like Monkey Wrench for me, it gets overplayed for a lot for me, but it's just the overplayability that keeps coming back to me. um, but yeah, next year that's from One by One, and if she is listening to this, please let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong or not. Um, but yeah, so my number 7 was Wind Up, and it's funny that she had Wind Up at number 9. I had mine at number 7. Um, Wind Up for me, it's just a it's one of those songs that is kind of like kind of in your face, and it's kind of like kick ass and all that stuff, and um, but it's again it's from the exact same album, Color and the Shape, and then her number 7 is from the exact same album, Enough Space, and she had um, told me that she doesn't really listen to that a lot, which is understandable. A lot of these songs they don't have a lot of replay value on them. Um, but Enough Space, it's another one of those kick ass songs that kind of puts you kind of in not an angry mood, but kind of gives you hype. Um, but it, plus, like I said, same album, Color and the Shape. Color and the Shape is a really good, solid album. Excuse me. All right, number 6. She had put "Show Me How," and my number 6 was "Enough Space." So for her number 6, when we listened to this together, this is from the latest album, but here we are, and she had told me that well, when we listened to it together, that whole album as a whole is kind of like a love letter to Taylor and to Dave's mom, Virginia. And "Show Me How" is it's show me how to get closure. Show me how to do this thing or do this thing. And this this whole album, it brought her to tears at the end of it, and it's one of those albums of the year that is in our opinion top 3 of all time. Um, "Show Me How" is a good song to uh, kind of bring closure to yourself. Show me how to be better than myself than the day before, sort of thing, if y'all know what I mean. Um, but my number 6 is what I had just said about "No Space." So it's one of those songs it's very kick-ass, and it's I don't get to hear it a lot, and it's sad that I have to say that. Um, so my number 5 was "Show Me How." And if you're noticing a pattern here, some of these songs I put just a little bit higher than she did, and she's it was funny how that worked out. Um, Mine was "Show Me How," but her number 5 was "Waiting on a War," and like I said about her number, but her number 6, "Show Me How," it's about the same with my number 5, which is "Show Me How." Waiting on a War, like I said, to me, it's not very memorable, but to her, it's very memorable to her. Um, Even though we didn't like the album, Medicine at Midnight at all. Like I said, it's a Diamond in the Rough sort of track. But yeah. So her number 4 was Monkey Wrench. And I'm kind of shocked, but at the same time, I'm kind of not. Um, it's one of those songs that kind of gets overplayed a little bit. Um, but for her, she said she she didn't really she just doesn't hear it a lot. And I kind of understand that, but it's at the same time, it's it kind of gets overplayed for me a little bit. But that's just because I overplay it myself. Um, but I was kind of shocked that she put Monkey Wrench at number four, which I mean that's kind of understandable. But my number four was Times Like These, and that's from One by One as well. What a song! Times Like These is like one of those like kind of groovy sort of songs, but it's kind of like an anthem. It's like kind of like get up, put your shoes on, let's go kick some ass today sort of anthem, or let's go get that promotion sort of thing. It's like it's kind of hard to talk about some of these songs without mentioning Taylor, but the drums and the guitar and the guitars and the bass and all that stuff, like it just plays very very well together. In this song, the whole album, like every album that they did as a whole group was phenomenal, except for some. But if you haven't listened to our album ranking for Foo Fighters, go listen to that. It was very interesting, uh, to say the least. Now, we're in the top three. My number three was Rescued. Now, it gets overplayed a lot for me here too, but it doesn't get overplayed enough where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sick of it. Also, if you really can't tell, I'm kind of stuffy, so sorry about that in advance. But it doesn't get overplayed a lot for me at all. But Rescue kind of has a soft spot for me in a way that like it's the song with it's it's kind of hard to explain, but the Behavior We Are album, when Rescue comes on, sorry if I'm going off track here, but when Rescue comes on, it kind of just brings me back to when my grandpa was alive, and he was really being waited to be rescued and bring me back to life. And that lyric hits home for some people. Um, but that being said, her number three was A Matter of Time, and I'm kind of glad that you put it in the top three. Um, but it's just because I think it's because of Wasting Light as a whole. That one's like it's very synonymous with her, um, because of the song at the very last song, the ending song Walk. It's because she's here today because of that song, and she is in great great gratitude of Foo Fighters because without that song, I don't think she would be here today. So I'm kind of glad that she's here today. Um, but Matter of Time is just that video that we've seen a few times. It's the it's like there's a music video for it, but it's like it's not a Foo Fighters music video. It's like there's like four old ladies in a room and they're like doing like some weird shit, like going to a bar and all that stuff and playing guitar and all that stuff. It's a funny music video. Y'all should go check that out. Um, yeah. So top two. I had put Monkey Wrench at number two, and Marissa's gonna be kind of shocked about this because for the longest time I thought Monkey Wrench was my number one. I've always played it a lot. Whenever that song comes on, she always like says like, "Hey Dystro, your song's on." I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah," Um, but this time, no. It's not the same. It's not the case this time. Um, Monkey Wrench is number two because I overplay it a lot myself, and it kind of like not haunts me, but it's kind of like every time I hear it come on, I'm like, okay, like it's Monkey Wrench, like I gotta just get through it, sort of thing. But I still get hyped over it, and I still get hyped about a lot of these songs, and that's a good thing because music's still a scapegoat for us as humans to escape from reality. and like Monkey Wrench and stuff. It's like it's dealing with like heartbreak and all that stuff too. Um, but her number two was Times Like These, and I think she probably had the exact same sentiments that I had when I talked about Times Like These at my number four. So our number one, her number one was Next Year, and I'm kind of glad that she had it at number one, um, because she was kind of shocked when I had it at number eight. And her that song means so much to her. Um, it was like one of those like played songs like that she had played a long time, and I mean rightfully so. It's like a really good song. It's a banger. Um, but my number one, my new number one, is A Matter of Time, and I can't really say much about Matter of Time. It's like it's it's very upbeat. It's very like in your face sort of rock, and I kind of like that. And like Matter of Time and Monkey Wrench, like yeah, those were two like tied for number one, but one had to be that number one spot, and Matter of Time took it over. Um, I'm kind of glad that I went with Matter of Time because it's like Monkey Wrench like would be like a lot of people's favorite, but I try to just throw a curveball in there, and I threw a major curveball. Um, I know Marissa's gonna be shocked as all hell. Um, but that being said, that's our list, guys. What do you think uh, of our list? Let us know in the comments below, and also let us know what your top 10. Where would you rank these songs? And let us know in the comments below. Now, with that being said, this coming Sunday, the 9th, January 9th, is our 2-year anniversary of doing the podcast. Holy crap, this is awesome. Yes, we have been doing this for 2 years now. We started on January 9th of 2022, and we did a 1-year anniversary last year. So weird to say that, saying that last year. Um, and that went off without a hitch. But now this time, we're gonna compare what we did last year and then the year before that, and we're gonna talk about our favorite episodes, moments, all the above. What we thought going into it this year and all that stuff. So this is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good fun time. I can't believe it's just been 2 years already, man. But anyway, we we do greatly appreciate you guys for sticking around for this long for 2 years straight. Um, so I've got Song of the Night tonight, and it is a very kind of fitting song. It is a band that I had not known a lot about, but Marissa probably knows a lot about more than I do. It is Dokken, uh, Dokken. For those people who do not know who they are an 80s rock group, and they are kick-ass as hell. And I heard this song the other day, and I wanted to say that now is Dokken's Alone Again. And it is very kind of like somber. It's very 80s, of course, but it is a very touching song. Um, I do like recommend that song for a lot of people. But yeah, that's my song of the night. Well, that's we're getting towards the end here. We do greatly appreciate it, you guys. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, um, TikTok, the YouTube channel. We're close to 250 subscribers. We're at 242 at the time of recording this. Hopefully we'll get to 200, maybe 300, maybe within the year here. And my gaming YouTube channel is in the link tree as well. I am at currently at time of recording this, I'm at 1,104. So, and I reached 1,100 on the last day of December last year. I do greatly appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Um, let's make the subscriber goal 1,200. Hopefully we can reach that by the end of this year. Hopefully, but you know it's a steady climb, or it's only going up from here. But thank you guys for joining us, or for joining me. So sorry. And we will see you guys for the 2-year anniversary. Peace.